Nice to have you again. It is Nigeria Decides, a special program designed to educate members of the public, prepare the voters ahead of the 2023 general elections. We've had a very heated discussion from our previous guests, Christopher Jekere and Igbe Samuel, and now we have two distinguished personalities again. We have Victor Edoze Bomoyi, former commissioner in Edo State, and of course a very seasoned politician from the PDP. And we also have with us another legal practitioner and also a very seasoned politician from the APC, Barrister Daniel Ogbege. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Daniel Praise is still with me. We're anchoring the show together.
Absolutely.
On a very wonderful Wednesday. It is Saturday for the election. I did mention on the program that INEC ought to have collected the sensitive materials and materials to conduct the election from the CBN today. But that exercise has been postponed to Thursday. We'll continue to monitor that development. So we are looking at a number of issues regarding the election, perspectives on the 2023 elections, the goings-on around the election, and of course the challenge of fake news. And one fake news that is trending now is that so many persons are peddling the rumor that there will be no transfers from Thursday, there will be no this on Thursday. It's fake news. The economy will continue to strive. The government will continue to work. It's just an election. We still have an incumbent. So let's start with Edoze Bomoyi. Looking at Saturday, do you think INEC, do you think political parties are ready for this 2023 general election?
Of course, I believe that the political parties are ready. Parties have been on campaign.
Yes.
And in fact, my party, the PDP, we rounded up our state campaign yesterday in Oredo for primary school.
Yes.
And I believe other political parties have also done so, and they are still doing so. INEC, as the umpire, had called in agents. They have tutored them
Yes.
on what they expect them to do. They have tutored political parties, agents too, on what they expect them to do. The beavers, which is the machine that is going to be used on Saturday, members of the political parties have also been tutored on how it operates.
Okay.
We are told that it's bimodal, either finger identification or facial. And we are also told that it is preferable to use the finger, not the index finger. And we are told that beavers in its entirety is predicated on satellite. So the issue of network, no network, is not
an issue
going to arise
yes.
on election day. So political parties are at work, candidates are crisscrossing. So I believe that we are ready for Saturday.
Okay. Daniel Ogbege, you think Nigerians and political parties are really set for this election?
Yeah, I have the same optimism
Okay.
as regards the readiness of the various institutions of state
Yeah.
to run this election. INEC, I believe, is ready. The River is a technology that is a good innovation that will surely make the voters the king in the election.
Okay.
It's not just about the parties anymore. If you are not popular, it will be hard for you to win. If you are not able to reach out to the people with your programs, your intentions for the state, then it will be very difficult for you to win. It's not like before that you have non-state actors, trying to influence the direction of the election. No, it is about the people now. But if I say that I believe the various institutions of state like INEC and the political parties are ready, I do not have the same optimism for Nigerians. I doubt if Nigerians are actually ready for this election. Because the spate of fake news, propaganda going on, and some don't even think that there might be election. Some think that there will be postponement. We've also heard that that people should there's fear mongering all over. We've heard that people should do transfer before tomorrow. That by tomorrow network will be jammed. And the one that even shocked me more was that even telephone networks will be jammed. People will not be able to make calls or browse the internet. I was shocked. Why? This is not the first time we'll be holding an election in this country. I don't even think that this election, this year's election is even as sensitive as the one of 2015. The one of 2015 was just between two major candidates, and it was like between North and South, between Christianity and Islam, and all of that. But this one is even more about. I don't think religion, took a front burner in this election. I don't think even ethnicity or region took a front burner, because now we have four major candidates who many Nigerians believe can win the election. We have Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, we have Atiku Abubakar, there's Peter Obi, who came in from PDP to contest under Labour, and of course there's also Kwankwaso, came in from PDP to contest under NPP. So I don't think the way Nigerians are taking it, I don't think it is the right way. And I just hope that they're able to comport themselves so that they will not be in peril, they will not be in danger. Some people will not be in danger.
Okay. Before Daniel Praise will ask his question, Edosa Bamoyi, now he just mentioned something that is very important. INEC is the umpire. INEC has assured Nigerians that this election will not be postponed. So why are Nigerians still afraid? Why the fear? Why are they still listening to fake news as regards some very negative trends regarding this election?
I would say that issues that are preceding this particular election, some of them are issues that we have never had. For instance, the sudden change of the Naira, the issue of you not having the old notes as legal tender. The new notes are not readily available. And you know that you cannot do business. You cannot do business without money. And so it introduces apprehension into the system. And so people are asking, why all this? What is happening? Of course, it's the election that is happening. And because of that, some people are thinking maybe there is a reason for all this. And of course, you will expect some mischievous people to cash in with different.
Edosa Bamoyi, please, I must interject here. Briefly, we'll just take a brief break now. And when we come back on Nigeria Decide, my guests will continue to expatiate on their opinions. Okay, after the interlude, we have in the studio Edosa Bamoyi, a former commissioner and also a very, very reputable member of the PDP. We also have with us a legal practitioner and a seasoned politician from the APC, Barrister Daniel Gbege, and Daniel Praise and I, Edosa Bamoyi, were anchoring the show. Before the interlude, Edosa Bamoyi was making some very vital comments as regard why the fears, why some Nigerians are not confident in the process, why they are scared. We don't know, because there's so much fake news in the air, rumor mongers trying to distort the process. INEC has assured Nigerians that the election will be conducted. So fake news should be negated. Edosa Moyi, you were just making your comment.
Yes. As I was saying, some variables,
Okay.
which of course are very strange,
Yes.
have been introduced into the system.
Okay.
Especially,
how do you mean?
yeah, weeks preceding the election,
Yes.
we've had the issue of Naira change.
Okay.
We've had the issue of deadline being given that old notes will cease to be legal tender. But here we are, the new notes are not available. These had made people very anxious. And the situation again, you find APC governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai, taking on the APC president, Buhari, on the issue of the Naira too. And so Nigerians are worried. What's going on? Especially when we realize that we had the ABN issue in other elections, which led to annulment of the result of MKO Abiola's election. So Nigerians really do not know what is happening. And of course, there have been demonstrations. Today is Wednesday, the election is Saturday. INEC has assured Nigerians. Security agents too have assured. Voters' education has been done. Politicians have been crisscrossing the states on their campaigns. Then the rumor came again. As from Thursday, there might be no network. And when you put all this together, it is difficult for Nigerians to actually comprehend what is going on. Hence the fears.
Okay, thank you.
Now, from every rumor, there seems to be iota of truth. For a while now, service providers, we've not been getting good network for a while. I don't know about you. I don't know about the network you use, but for a while, I've not been able to access my bank account. I've not been able to do some kind of transaction for a while now, for about 3 days, 1 week. And don't you think this should actually pose fears to Nigerians? Now, this is to you, Honorable Edos.
Yes, exactly. But again, to me, it is given. If you have shortage of cash and everybody relying on transfer, of course the network will be jammed.
Okay.
Network will be jammed. And so for me, I take that. But what of the other man? The other man might be thinking that there is something extra on that, because we have seen similar situations in previous elections. But this is it's an innovation. Currency change, deadline on old notes, new notes. Politicians or governors of the same political party at loggerheads, Supreme Court coming on, established institutions denouncing what Supreme Court has said. And so it's confusing, especially when we are counting days and hours towards election. This is a country that election has been held and that credible election was annulled. So to the general masses, anything can happen.
Okay, thank God we have a legal practitioner here, and you are a member of the APC. So I want to direct this to you. The president is actually not really dancing to the tune of the Supreme Court. Well, today is 22nd of February. We are supposed to have a final verdict from the Supreme Court. The president's action, as far as this Naira swap is concerned, legally, is he out of place?
Well, you cannot tie the president to it because, of course, the matter is already before the Supreme Court and there is no final decision yet. The Supreme Court granted an interim order, for the status quo to be maintained. But the governor of Central Bank, for me, I believe that in all of this, the governor of Central Bank has been the eye of the storm. He was the one that, from nowhere, introduced this policy, few weeks or few months to election, for Naira redesign, and even when they collected our old Naira, they refused to give us a new one. The new one was never available. And there have been allegations that probably because we saw pictures of vehicles and campaign posters of the central bank governor trying to contest for election under the APC, that he's probably very pissed off that he was not considered. And I never knew him as a member of APC. He was nominated and appointed by the government of PDP before Buhari came. So he did his first term. He was allowed to do his first term. And before then, probably he was able to do some things to make sure that he had a second term. And he wanted to be president when he wasn't even a member of the... It was even at that point where he showed interest in the presidency of this country as a central bank governor, that he ought to have been sacked or advised to resign. So we are seeing all of this now from a man who has been very angry that the APC decided to look elsewhere and not look at his direction.
Okay.
Because, you know, for me it was surprising. Now, how do you redesign the Naira? That was not a wrong policy. Then how do you now make sure that even the new currency is not available? And when people now resort to technology, I mean, like he said earlier, the network is jammed, the app is jammed, and nothing is happening, and it's causing reapprehension in the system. For me, I pray that we are able to go out of this unscathed, but it will be very hard for him to escape further scrutiny from Nigerians. And maybe the government that will come, they will have to ask him a lot of questions, because you have to be patriotic to Nigeria. It is not to self. And even after the Supreme Court gave that interim order, he still started doing a lot of things to undermine that decision of the Supreme Court.
Does a CBN governor have the prerogative right to disobey court order? One, I just hold that one on one hand. Then secondly, we have a president who has given his full backing, like he has given his full support. In an interview he granted, he said the Naira swap has come to stay. So thirdly, are you not saying Emefiele is having his pound of flesh on people who actually robbed him of his presidential ambition?
That's what I said, in very certain ways. That is what
I want you to be clear, because Nigerians are watching.
Yeah, that is what I have said. In no certain terms that he's probably trying to have his pound of flesh, and that's why he's doing all of these things. And why he's doing it is to also maybe make Nigerians to become disenchanted.
So why so much agitation within the APC government?
Yeah, that is the reason, because they know that what he's doing is to demarket the APC to Nigerians, as though the policy was the policy of the APC. But the APC has come out to say, look, this is not our policy. We do not support it. The other parties, their candidates and their supporters, came out to support this policy at this time. So it was when they saw, because Atiku Abubakar, the candidate of the PDP, came out to support the policy, that was 2 weeks ago, last week. It was when they saw that it backfired, that Nigerians now said, oh, okay, you are supporting what is causing suffering to us. And this week, True to Type came out again to denounce the policy. You know how it can be, and his history.
Thank you, Daniel. We'll just allow Edose Bumoyi to react to that. Yes, do you think there is a clandestine motive behind what the CBN governor is doing? Do you think the PDP is behind what the CBN governor is doing from what he has said now? Maybe you just quickly react to that.
I'm amazed.
Okay.
We have a PDP-centered, APC-centered government.
Yes.
What is happening in Nigeria with the currency change, the fiscal situation right now, as far as I'm concerned, is a security risk.
Okay.
We've had demonstrations. Are we saying that the central bank governor is above Mr. President? Mr. President is in charge. The buck stops at his table. Atiku Abubakar only came on to denounce the result, the effect of the policy somersault. People are suffering. People have saved their money in banks.
Yes.
They cannot access it. And a man like Abubakar Atiku that have been vice president, aspiring to be president again, he should sit down and be watching people he wants to govern suffering. So he had to come out and speak. Yes, he spoke. And I believe that with Atiku Abubakar in the saddle, we will not have this kind of situation.
But to an extent, Governor El-Rufai actually alleged, not the APC, because you said APC said that this policy is from PDP. But we didn't get this from the presidency.
No, I did not say the APC said it was from the PDP.
Okay.
I traced the history of Godwin Emefiele, who is a member of the PDP and was appointed by the PDP government of Goodluck Jonathan. And I said he
but
tried...
APC retained him.
Yes, yes. And I said he tried to contest under the APC. Of course, the APC did not allow him because he's not a member of the APC. He's a member of the PDP. And I'm sure the reason why the APC allowed him was to just allow the smooth running. If they had removed him, people would have said, oh, they are playing petty politics because the man is a member of the PDP. That's why they are bringing him. And what I said about Atiku earlier supported the policy because they were thinking that it was going to demarcate the APC. But of course, Nigerians knew better. Nigerians knew what was going on, and they knew that this was a PDP man trying to demarcate the APC because we have an APC administration. Okay. And in the north, people started saying that, look, whether there is money or no money, we will vote Tinubu. That's what they were saying.
Thank you, Daniel.
It was the reason why Atiku came out to change again, because I mean the man will never stay.
Thank you, Daniel.
Because
time is not always our friend. Daniel Praise, time is not always our friend.
Of course.
But I must say that we've enjoyed the contribution of Edoze Bomoyi of the PDP and of course Barrister Daniel Ogbeghe of the APC. Wonderful comment. But just your closing remarks now, briefly. Edoze Bomoyi, your expectation for the conduct of the election, a quick one.
Fine. We just have 3 days to election. I expect everything to go on smoothly.
Okay.
I also expect that government will not scuttle this election because I'm not satisfied with the way this issue of monetary policy have been tackled. For INEC, I'm satisfied that they are ready to conduct.
Thank you very much. That will be a quick one.
I'm also very satisfied with INEC.
Okay.
I want to encourage Edo people to look at the candidates, their history, what they've done before in the previous positions, and be able to judge. It is done by emotions. Edo people, Edo State cannot afford to support a candidate that will not win. They should look at a candidate that will win and that has the best program for Nigeria and support that candidate. And I also want to advise the government of Edo State that this is election, that it is not a do or die politics. Those the people support should be allowed.
Thank you very much, Daniel Ogbeghe. Daniel Praise.
Of course, it's such a delight being with you, Rosa. Don't sell your vote, hold your PVC, because that's the weapon you have at the moment.
Okay, Daniel Praise, don't sell your vote. There's no money to buy your vote. My name is Egosa Agbola. I hope you enjoyed today's edition of the program, Nigeria Decides. Do have a wonderful week ahead. Bye-bye.